Whiplash is a great movie. I feel like that's not really a controversial statement. It's not really a hot take. Everybody seems to love this movie. So I feel like nothing I'm going to say in this review is adding anything to the conversation. But yeah, sometimes when things are hyped, they deserve the hype. And this is definitely one movie that deserves the hype. AMC brought this back to theaters a few weeks ago for its 10th anniversary, and it looks amazing on the big screen. I never saw this movie on the big screen before. I've only seen it on my TV, but it has this really cinematic experience to it. You could definitely understand why it's regarded as one of the greatest films of the 2010s because I think it is, along with Parasite, Prisoners, um, maybe The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, and Into the Spider-Verse, off the top of my head. But anyway, Damien Chazelle, I think he's made a couple movies before this, but this is the movie that kind of made him like a huge director, like very mainstream in a good way, I would say. After this, he directed La La Land, which I also really liked. I haven't seen First Man or Babylon, but those got good reviews, so I might watch them someday once I watch all these other movies on my list. Miles Teller is brilliant as Andrew. He's this college student whose goal, like any anime protagonist, is to be the best drummer in history. And he is kind of fucking crazy if you think about it. Like, he is not well in the head, for being honest. Terrence Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons in an Oscar-worthy performance. He is this jazz music director, and he sees potential in Andrew and has him be the drummer in his band and pushes him beyond belief in a lot of emotional distress in this movie. I was in jazz band in high school. It was nothing like this. It was very kind of cool and laid back. Watching this movie, I was on edge. um, I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad this isn't my jazz band. I remember thinking that back in middle school, high school. But yeah, J.K. Simmons gives probably the best performance of his career that I've seen at least. And this guy's been around for a long time, so that's saying something. Yes, he's very raunchy, very Malcolm Tucker-ish. Um, I would like to see Terrence Fletcher and Malcolm Tucker having an argument together. That would be really interesting. But underneath all the colorful insults, if you will, it's a very interesting character study between these two people. One of them wants to find the best, the other one wants to be the best, and he's like pushing him to extremes in a very unhealthy way. It makes very compelling drama. Like the way that Andrew is being pushed mentally and physically is represented by the car crash he gets in trying not to be late, which is a great metaphor. Whole film study um, is like how do you not cross the line between pushing someone to be the best and actually just like torturing them basically. And the movie doesn't really answer this question. In the end of the movie, you think it's a victory for Andrew, and to some point it is, but also it's definitely a victory for Terrence Fletcher because he wins in the end. He's like, you know what, my philosophy's right. I could be an asshole, and I'm still the best teacher ever. I then he gets to take credit for Andrew's success. But the way Andrew thinks about it, he is successful because he defied Fletcher, which in Fletcher's twisted mind is like, this was my plan all along. So you really don't know who wins in the end. Do both of them win? Does Fletcher win and Andrew loses because Andrew's gonna have this really unhealthy mentality the rest of his life now? Paul Weisel definitely loses because his son's a maniac. Poor Paul Weisel. He's so likable in this movie too. He's like the best dad ever. Speaking on a directing front, I'm not really like, a master in like film lingo or technology. I focus more on movies from like the writing side, but the way the camera is shot, like the way the fast cuts are between the instruments and between everybody's faces, the close-ups on everybody's faces, the big montages, it's compelling. It's beautiful. I love it. You could definitely see why this movie is so well regarded. Even 10 years later, people are still talking about this movie. Um, those kids, probably teenagers in maybe middle school, annoying the crap out of me watching the movie um, because they kept on talking through it. And it's like, well, at least people like the movie still, but also those guys were annoying. Also, this is non-related to the movie, but the police raided the movie theater while I was watching this, saying like, "Did any of you guys see anyone suspicious?" That's never happened before at the movie theater. I live in a pretty good area, so that was a little bit alarming. But what annoyed me more is they didn't bother to pause the movie. They were talking all over the movie. It's like, hold on a sec, trying to listen to I'm trying to listen to Whiplash. I don't think the police officers cared. Luckily, I've seen the movie before. Um, Also, you know how Andrew is insane because he drops this like beautiful woman, this 10 out of 10 girl over stupid drums. That's just what sets me and Andrew apart, to be honest. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Whiplash down in the comments below. And what is your favorite Damien Chazelle movies? Do you think Babylon or First Man is worth watching? Please let me know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.